All right, welcome in, welcome back. We are back on the Andre Duke Show with Carter Smith. How is everybody doing out there today? Um, After yesterday's big streams that we had, didn't end up doing the UCLA game at the end of the night. Just did not feel like doing that one on camera. But for the most part, how is everybody out there doing this evening? Getting ready for um, Notre Dame and Miami. I guess I'll start the show off with if you're new to the channel, hit that like and subscribe. Help us grow this thing. That is one of our goals here that we are trying to do on the road to 500 subscribers. I think it's a pretty obtainable goal. Um, just a little housekeeping and a little bit of that. I think that what we have going is a pretty good deal. We're going to be live streaming the games on Saturday, pretty much the big games. Like this is a big weekend for college football. Just a little entertainment if you want a little bit of an alternative broadcast, something to that effect. Um, just going over and looking at it. Just checking it out. But I do appreciate everybody who has tuned in and hit that like and subscribe button. Um, if you're watching on Twitter, come on over to YouTube. That helps, and hitting the thumbs up as well. That's about it for the most part. But what was the shock of the weekend for while we have some time before the game kicks off? What was the shock of the weekend? Um, I think that one of the bigger takeaways from the weekend was Alabama. To me, the how that um, transpired, how they had everything that went on with that. Um, Jimmy Johnson is there. This is a big game for Miami. I know a lot of the folks in the Notre Dame realm of it have kind of, I wouldn't say not downplayed it, but I think this is a massive game for Miami. This is a game that can springboard their season, but if they lose a close one, um, I'm not 100% sure on what it looks like. The Fire Mario people will be gathering the pitchforks. Miami has all of the stars out. Devin Hester, Ray Lewis is there, Jimmy Johnson, I'm sure Ed Reed, Jim Kelly, as they're showing them, Michael Irvin, of course. They're getting ready. Notre Dame's getting ready to take the field. It's going to be interesting, to say the least. I think that a lot of it is perspective on how you view the season. Um, I don't know. I hate to be this guy, but what is the overall outlook if you're a Miami fan? That's where I'm kind of at on it. What is your overall outlook if you're a Miami fan? Wow, we're getting a lot of people in here. But yeah, that's their overwhelming thing. that we have. But yeah, I appreciate everybody tuning in for this. They got Miami is wearing the orange tonight, which I was kind of shocked. I was kind of shocked that they were going to wear orange tonight, to be honest with you. I would have thought Miami would have wore white. I don't know what Notre Dame's wearing. I would say that they're probably going to wear the white tops with the gold pants. Although when Notre Dame wore the white pants with the navy jerseys or the blue jerseys, those were pretty good. They got Miami out coming out on the field right now. But yeah, we got 61 of you in here. Appreciate everybody. But yeah, if you could hit that like and subscribe and come on over to the YouTube and join in the conversation, that's always welcome as well. Just, a lot of the stuff in the pregame is getting going. I think Lenore Sellers is going to be a problem. I would say he might be the betting favorite to win the Heisman. They're doing the interviews with the coaches. This is a lot of. I think there's a lot of pressure on Carson Beck for tonight and Mario. I think that is something to be said there. I guess there's a lot of big time recruits down there at Miami tonight. Be interested to see how it's all going to play out, how it's going to shake out. That's just something to be said there. But yeah, the game's doing the coin flip now, and we're going to be. Well, I'm just retweeting the stream. All right. 77 in rain, 91% humidity. It is going to be a hot one down there in Miami tonight. Seeing CJ Carr for the first time. This is something that a lot of Notre Dame people have been on. You got the new logo. We'll have to see if there'll be some sad pandas on tonight. All right. That's the one downside with streaming the games, doing a live stream like this is there's when it's the marquee game for the night, there is so much. Like, this game's going to be at least 3.5 hours, maybe even 4, and we'll do a little post game show as well. Also, the NASCAR playoffs are on, if anyone cares about that. They're in stage 2. I don't think anyone cares. But yeah, if you guys could hit the like and subscribe button on the stream, that would be great. Mm. Yeah, so we're here. I believe the kickoff was a touchback, and the first snap of the Notre Dame season is underway. CJ Carr, 6'3", 210, redshirt freshman. Never attempted a pass. So we're about to see what the first year starters have been. It has been rough. Completes his first pass for negative yards. But I think that you can already tell Marcus was annoyed with that. They are. The crowd down there is amped up. So third down. We are getting there. Although I do like that Denbrock hat, the shiny Notre Dame emblem. All right. And that's a first down. So Notre Dame picking up the first down. I don't see how there's probably not fights after this game. That's the Miami fan base is a little and a little rough around the edges. Not one. Wow, phase on. I can tell you this offense already looks different. It looks different than last year. So Faison already with 3 catches for 27 yards. So I'm going to assume Jeremiah Love coming in motion. Yeah, it's going to be. I don't know. I don't know how it's going to play out. I think Miami needs to build their own standalone stadium closer to their campus. Carr going incomplete. 3rd and 9. I will say, with it being just judging upon what I've seen in the first drive here, it looks like Denbrock is not gonna completely air it out, but there is um more of a downfield passing attack, in my opinion, from what I've seen so far. And Carr's rolling. Get rid of it. And 4th down, Notre Dame punt. Not the most ideal situation there, but they got 2 first downs. They're made it into Miami territory. I think Miami's going to be better on defense this year. Interested to see what Notre Dame's going to look like on defense. I think that's a lot of it. Probably after the punt, we're probably going to be seeing a media timeout. Why'd Miami call timeout? And I get it, you can't take them with you, but unless they're going to come after this, that's what I would assume. They're going to come after the punt. That would be the only thing I could think that, or they were or their special teams wires were crossed. But number 10 versus number 6 tonight. All right. Just checking that out. Media timeout. So it is what it is. What did that first drive yield? A couple first downs. I don't necessarily think it was a be all end all to the drive. Although I'm really fascinated by why Miami took that timeout, but I try not to be on the criticize Cristobal train too much. But he does make some bad game day decisions sometimes. So I guess we'll see where it yields out. The ads are rough. So we started the stream just a little bit ago. If you're new here and it's your first time, go ahead and throw something in the chat if you want to. That's pretty much how it rolls here. I think my boy Richie might join for the second half. So we'll get some banter going back and forth. Just checking some snails. So punt. Notre Dame gets the punt away. No hiccups. Get a look at Carson Beck at the U. Rain still is coming down. If you're not able to watch, the rain is still coming down. Oh, excuse me. What does Carson Beck have up his sleeve? See what this Notre Dame defense. A lot of people picked Miami. I would say this is going to be a highly emotional game. Starting out on the ground, Miami is. Carson Beck with the glove on. Uh, 7,000 yards, 24-3 as a starter. I thought it was interesting last night when they put up the potential draftable quarterbacks and Carson Beck wasn't on there. I didn't think he tanked his stock that bad, but completion, Beck over the middle. I know Notre Dame hasn't won in Miami in, I want to say, since like 1980 when they play Miami, or when they played Miami. They haven't won down there since, I believe, 1980. So we'll see. We'll see where this see what we got here. Um Another run. Miami with another first down. So they seem to be moving it. All right. Carson Beck back at it. Jordan Lyle, the running back, getting a lot of work early here, but the rain still is coming down. Empty. Carson Beck just kind of taking what they're giving him. It'll be interesting to see the Notre Dame snap counts on the after the game to see who gets more snaps than others. Carson Beck dialing it up deep. That is overthrown. 3rd and 2, I would assume that it's going to be a handoff, is what I would presumably be thinking. I necessarily don't think this is going to be a game of offensive explosion. That's why I did bet the first half total under. And I took Notre Dame outright. And they are stuffed on 3rd down. What you gonna do, Mario? All right, Mario, what you gonna do? I would assume, it being Mario, I would assume the punt team. Did you see the forward pass in Ann Arbor? I didn't know that was a thing up there. Yeah, I seen that, Dave. What are your thoughts on Miami Notre Dame tonight? I bet Notre Dame outright, and I took the first half under. I also think that in order for that zone read to be effective, Beck's going to have to pull it a couple of times in order for Notre Dame to respect it. So there's that. Just skimming through some old analytics here, but yeah, if you would do a little self promotion here, hit that like and subscribe button and help us grow this thing. No idea. Hope Carr is good because I like his parents and I've never believed in Miami. I don't Here's the thing. I think everybody does the every year Miami's back, Miami's back. I get that sentiment on not trusting Miami. I look at more of the not trusting Miami being like a Miami problem, like a Miami specific problem. I I feel like Miami does things like they do Ohio State things, but it's one of those deals that they can do things to fix some things and like somebody will offer them an idea but they don't take it and then they end up doing it later. Not never, not since letting a running back take the ball from them. Yeah, also I don't know if anybody's seen this, but it was pointed out I seen on Twitter some kid from Georgia State went up to a kid from Old Miss and pulled his chain and threw it, and then that kid didn't play at all in the game for Georgia State. So I hope that was worth it to not let yourself probably play in a bye game where there's probably NFL scouts there. So that's just not smart, but that's just kind of what it is, I guess. Game is coming back. Um Still Bama fans crashing out everywhere. I see all over Twitter. Looks like the rain's coming down a little bit more. A little bit more down here in Miami. I haven't really got Jeremiah Love going. And there's a fumble. Miami retains possession, and I think the receivers are going to have to take the gloves off. Yep, it was out. Yeah, it was coming out, kept on, ran a screen, a defensive lineman retraced and whapped him. And he coughs up the rock. So that is not ideal. On now, Miami gets the ball back um, in your territory. So there's that. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that is not ideal. Miami gets it at the 29. It looks like Beck dialing it up. Incompletion. Lenore Sellers only completed 12 passes today for 209 yards. I think he's going to win the Heisman. He grabbed him there. Miami keeps it on the ground. Looks like it's going to be about 3rd and 10. No less. Miami should come away with a field goal here. Notre Dame's new defensive coordinator, Chris Ash. Believe he was the former head coach at Rutgers. He ended it. I'll just say about Rutgers, the only person that's had success there has been Shiano, and it's fascinating to me. I don't know if that's a first down. Is Mario gonna go for it? Is the question. A lot of hand fighting there. 4th and 1. I don't know. I hate to be that guy, but I am a big time proponent of kicking field goals unless they're going to try to draw them off sides, but that's what it's looking like. Unbalanced line, tight end over there. Oh, they got it. Miami's offensive line is kind of coming out and playing some bully ball here. Notre Dame just couldn't get a shove in on it. So there's that. Another handoff. It's going to be 2nd down. Oh, yeah, Notre Dame would have kicked that field goal. Marcus would have. He's not a big go for it on 4th down guy. But whenever you come out and you're doing what Miami's doing on the offensive line, it kind of makes it easy to do that. So Notre Dame stuffs them there on 3rd. Texas would have won yesterday if they would have kicked on 4th down plays. What did Sarkisian pass up? I think it was 3 field goals. They would have won by 2 if he would have kicked field goals, maybe. I know he passed up 2 for sure. 3rd and 8 here. Miami at the 10. Beck ball batted. 4th and 8. Now Cristobal's going to go in and kick a field goal. Carter Davis is the field goal kicker's name. Long of 51. What is that? What the hell was that? Wow. Dave, did you just see that field goal sequence? What was that? I mean, it was a bad snap, and the kicker, like what the hell were you doing? That is unbelievable. Yikes. Mm-mm-mm. Yeah, we put a lot of. I don't get it if you're going to use your best players. Well, I don't know how. Like, obviously, the snap was bad. He should have just tried to kick it. I don't know. I mean, Mario's a great recruiter. He's got the number one tackle signed. I just, I mean, it was just bad execution there, I guess. So I will notate that down. That is going in the notes. Um, uh, what is that? A field goal. So they missed the field goal there. So Miami's left 3 points on the field because they did not execute the um they didn't get the hold exchange done correctly. It's also a problem. Well, it's raining. I mean, I get it. It was going to be like a 25-yard field goal. It was basically going to be an extra point. So there's that. Replay, just poor execution. Yeah. Dave, what do you think about Bama and that whole sequence of events there? Huh. All right, Notre Dame's got it at the 20. CJ Carr, Jeremiah Love spins out of there. What a move. Turns a potential 2-yard loss into an 8-yard gain. I think they hired Indiana's coach who happened to beat the Ducks a few years ago. Well, yeah, I don't know. It's the Alabama thing is tough because I think their roster's talented. I just think that they went into a hostile environment and we're not ready for it. Jeremiah Love getting looks like it's going to be about 3rd and 1 here. I would say they'll keep it on the ground again. As soon as Washington saw a big boy defense, they crumbled down. That's a fair assessment, but I don't think that well his time at Washington, is it because he had Michael Penix? I hate to be that is not going to work. Running CJ Carr, not a good idea. 4th down, I would say Marcus is going to punt it. And yep, the nose guard came clean. Did not account for the nose guard. Punt is away. So Miami fields the punt successfully. Still nothing. How did he not see that? It was right in front of him. Yeah. I hear you on that. Dave, those are all valid points. So there is where that is at. Carson Beck getting it at the 30. Man, Miami is running through them. I haven't seen this many people at a Miami game in a long time. That was a big hole that they created. Another decent run. I would say Miami's averaging close to 5 yards a carry on the ground. All right. Here we go. We're back at it. Carson Beck throwing a bubble screen, dropped. I don't know if it's just me, Dave, but are you noticing all the drops that have been going on in college football by the receivers? Although Carson Beck kind of threw him a shitty ball, but I just feel like that. I felt like that was a bad ball because I think it came out of his hand wonky. Carson Beck dropping back, completion. Going to get the ball. It's raining, but Michigan dropped 4 or 5 yesterday, and the throws. Yeah, I hear that. The end of the first quarter has commenced. We are at 0-0. There is no score. Yeah, where was that hit to where the Notre Dame fumble? I don't know. I kind of think that it doesn't matter if Miami can't execute a extra point. That is a problem. I would have thought that that ESPN would have probably put one of the West Coast teams in the time slot for the major West Coast Would have been a good opportunity instead of having a doubleheader last night. You could have played UCLA tonight. But, Fox and their whole stance on having any type of competition in the TV market, we know where that ranks. Um, uh, just checking it out. I am interested. Where's everybody watching from tonight? So there is that. The commercial break is dragging. There's not been a whole lot, but I mean, one of the bigger stories I think is I find it fascinating um, that Miami has not built a um, on-campus stadium yet. That's just kind of where that's at, or I'm at with that. Oh man. I don't know about you guys, but I am tired from yesterday. Streaming 3 games, that is a lot. I'm glad it's only one game tonight. The Bachelor in Paradise, because that's what I'm going to be watching. Right. Just seeing what's going on the Twitterverse. They say they won't. I saw a stadium on campus that was built. Yeah, I know. I would think Miami would want it where the university's at, not at the Hard Rock Stadium. Also, is it just me or are the lines on the field very crooked? I'm just saying. I think where they got like what Northwestern did, I think it's fascinating that you mean to tell me the University of Northwestern can go out and I believe it's an issue with Coral Gable rich people not wanting traffic. Yeah, that's probably a fair assessment. Beck going for it. Clean play. Third down coming up. Injured player. Trainer's out. Looks like he's grabbing at the collarbone. There is. How does he land? That's a tough landing. Looked like he jammed his elbow into the grass. That is not ideal. Mm. So there is that. Um, just got Miami has looked better so far. I don't offensively. I'm going to say that Cam Ward would have scored a touchdown, but he was also the number one overall pick. Now I think Miami looks better on defense because they were they were not great last year on defense. I think that's the Georgia Tech game and Syracuse are the ones that stick out. Um, so I tend to lean on the side of I don't think their issues last year were on offense. Oh, better than Notre Dame on offense? Well, I don't know. I think it's going to take a series or two. I would say by the second half, if Notre Dame looks like this on offense, it might be time to panic. But then again, it's still early in the year. The CJ Carr experiment is what it is. Also, I would have my alarms would be going off if they have to put Kenny Minchie in. I don't think CJ Carr is going to get the hook, but if they don't start getting something going on offense, I don't not trust Marcus not to do something like that. But we'll see. I think there's a lot of Notre Dame folks down there. So there's that element. Is the game back? Because the kid that fell, mm, he fell right on that shoulder. Oh, it looks like it was his throat. 2 drives stalled out from a wide receiver fumble. Yeah. Also, Chris Ash is pissing me off by how much he's blitzing. All right. There's the first Carson Beck touchdown of the Miami era. I would say that place, 8 plays, 70 yards, 2 minutes and 43 seconds. Um, that's kind of what it is. Dave's here. You. Now can they execute the extra point? Barely. I am gonna go out on a limb and say I think Miami could be in trouble if they have to get on a if they have to make a special teams play that is in crunch time. I don't like the whole setup there because it looked like they had an issue with the exchange again, but almost got there to break it up, but just out of his reach. Carson Beck running by Notre Dame sideline talking shit. Okay. So we're about to see if Notre Dame can answer. But yeah, I think Ash is blitzing a lot. Willie McGee. That was old Willie on the sidelines. Willis McGahee. Joe Long, Carson Hobbs is getting lit up. Yeah. Glad to see that you could pop in, Joe. But I guess Beck's elbow's all right with their choreographed handshake. Yeah, I'm not in on the. Well, here's the deal. I think it's just going to come down, can Notre Dame match the offense? That's what it's going to be. Can they get Jeremiah Love going? He's your most dynamic player. But I don't think that one quarter of football is enough to judge Carr on to say, well, this is what it is. He's literally Ash on that 4th and 1. Yeah, I'll agree with you on that. They had no one on the right side. Yep, that's true. But Miami's also got a new defensive coordinator too, so I'm kind of on the it's already 3rd down, 3rd and 4. Offensive execution is piss poor. I don't think that was a I don't think that was it's just not getting executed properly. But Notre Dame desperately needs a stop here. I think if Miami goes down and gets line of scrimmage on both sides, yeah, I would agree with you there. The defense is getting pushed around. They're getting bullied. Also, is anybody else tired of seeing Modelo commercials? By this week, I'm done with them. Oh, Knapp isn't the answer at left tackle. Yeah, I kind of tend to agree with that, fellas. But he won't last there. Yeah. We're made it through the first hour. The first half's almost over. We are going to take a break at halftime, just to let everybody, do what they need to do. He did run the ad. I don't know if anybody knows who that guy is. That Cody Campbell. He is the mega booster from Texas Tech. He's the guy that's been buying all their players for him. So there's that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think Knapp has came out and looked stellar. But, I think Rudolph has got to do some things. I think a lot of this game's going to come down to who makes the adjustments at halftime, to be honest, really. That's kind of what I'm going to base it off of. Some people will agree with that. If you disagree, throw it in there, but I think this game will be, it's going to sound cliched, but I really think that whoever wants to come out and win this game, it'll have to be done in the second half. This is kind of, but I also, yeah, I hear you on that, Joe. But I really think that going forward, I think that this game will really have to be won in the second half. So Carson Beck's going to get another crack at it here. It does look like he has a tight compression sleeve on his throwing elbow. Well, it's more of the broadcasting thing. They want to give the schools rights in the TV deals. That's what it's coming down to. Really, like the elephant in the room, because they're tired of the broadcast networks dictating times and stuff. And they want more of the, basically what I think they're trying to do is cut conferences out of the revenue stream, which I don't see how that's going to work, but guy's shoe came off. But also, I think that they should. Yeah, I hear you on that, Joe. I also think that they should implement something that everybody's going to go back to a grass playing surface. I think eventually that's going to come. Because what was the first thing Belichick did at UNC is he ripped the turf up. I think that's a hold. I want to say I think that they got him for holding. So there's that. Let's see it. Yeah, I could see that. Um, 3rd and 18. Knock those teeth out of Beck. Almost impossible at Michigan Stadium in the 90s. It was grass, and the water table would flood it. White. Yeah, Miami running a screen here. There's that. A lot of pushing and shoving. So it's 4th down. Beck's trotting off the field. It was like the Irish field, but 10 times worse. Yeah, Notre Dame's grass was kind of antiquated. But I think it's 2025. I think we should be able to figure out how to drain a fucking football field. Just kind of in my opinion. Miami's going to line up to punt. Looks like Notre Dame's coming after it. And it's fielded. So there's that. Getting a little chippy down there. Same issue there. They built the stadiums in holes and lowered the field for more seats. That is true. That's what Ohio State did. Ooh, no, don't want to do that. But yeah, that is exactly what Ohio State did. They Ohio State built the overhang so the grass doesn't grow in one side. They had to go to turf. They extended one of the decks. But the big thing at Ohio State is that the one thing I will say that Michigan has done is they've kept up maintenance on the big house. At the shoe, they haven't. They just paint over the rust. And I mean, when Notre Dame Stadium got its facelift, they just basically built on top of the old stadium. So that's what it is. I mean, it'll be interesting to see how the Penn State thing has. Notre Dame and Michigan have the same stadiums. They are holes, not decks. Yes. Although the one place that had a come up that they don't really talk about is Indiana, because Memorial Stadium, they put seats in there now, but when they remodeled it the last time, they left it so open to where they could add so much more seating. The one weird thing is that I think it's fascinating that Iowa, being an ag school, has turf. I just find that really to be fascinating, to be honest. Why does Iowa have turf? Why wouldn't they have natural grass? But I get it. Trying to maintain grass in November in Iowa. But you would think, but whatever. When I was a kid, the shoe was open ended. I wanted to see a game from the end zone bleachers. Yeah, I forgot about that until they built the end zone in. I think it was in the mid 90s when they finally built that in. Because, see, Memorial Stadium at Indiana used to be like that. Price getting some carries. All right, way to go, ESPN. But yeah, I've kind of noticed that. Why are we running CJ Carr? Oh, bay. Well, he's 6-9 for 37 yards. I don't think he's played bad. First down, Notre Dame. It is almost. I'm just kind of. Who bamboozled all of the indie stuff? Oh, wow. Price. Hey, hey, diddle price up the middle. If you're talking about the background is App State. I think their stadium's really neat. Um. Okay, Miami calls a timeout. Oh man, I am sorry. I just keep yawning. Cold Mountain Refreshment, Coors Light. Does anybody ever eat any Domino's? Like when I order pizza, that's like not Miami trying to slow the momentum. Yeah, I'll agree with you on that, Joe. Because the problem is that if Notre Dame goes down here and scores, that really puts the pressure back on Beck and Cristobal. I'm just saying that hopefully at halftime these guys go change their cleats or something. Oh, he stepped on a foot, but which is not fun. Mm, there you go. There's a completion. Yes, finally. Mm. I remember the days. Remember the days, Joe and Dave, you guys might remember this, but you guys might remember the days of whenever you played a sport, everybody had to have the same cleats. Car out of his reach. I think the moment coming off rule is very fascinating to me because I think Jeremiah Love is very frustrated right now. But I'm going to go out on a limb and say I think the Heisman Trophy winner is going to be Lenora Sellers. Oh, Price. Got him out of bounds there. Notre Dame deep in Miami territory. Deep in the territory. Almost like deep inside the Rebels. Used to be a website on 247. So there's that. It was a good run, good hard run. Now they just need to punch it in. Who called timeout? Was it Notre Dame? Yeah, because the play clock was running out. What are your guys' thoughts on Chili's? Do you guys ever think, like, whenever you're going to go out to eat or something, do you think, yeah, let's go to Chili's? Let's go to Chili's. I'm just watching the NASCAR race. Indy always used to wear black shoes, yes. No, I disagree, Joe. Just give it to Price and have him punch it in. Let's like not mess around with this. Notre Dame's current drive, 8 plays, 65 yards, 4 minutes, 32 seconds. Not since 1993. And they are driving at the loud, I would call it the loud end, the pro Miami end. CJ Carr. What's Denbrock's obsession with running him? That's twice they've tried to run him tonight. Does he realize that he is not the athlete that Riley Leonard is? I'm just saying. Ball. Jeez. I would say Price is coming out now. He just coughed up the rock. That would be. They have fumbled it twice now. All right. 3rd and goal. What do you got? What do you like? Yep, you're in trouble. That's a touchdown. CJ Carr found the open guy. Micah Gilbert. I mean, and it is really raining down there in Miami, I guess. Old 99 was like, I got a free shot, reverses field, and just couldn't do it. Well, ESPN is attempting to show us the highlight and can't quite get that executed. There was one across the street from my hotel when I worked out of town for a month. Ate there like every day. It was pretty good back in like 01. My dyslexia is kicking my ass tonight. Oh yeah, Dave. It's like I view Chili's almost like Buffalo Wild Wings. And then for anybody that's freaking out, there's it's commercial and it's going to be a kickoff. So for the next 5 minutes, nothing's going to happen. They're literally going to kick the ball off and it's going to go into the end zone. That's what's going to happen. I would say it's definitely a touchback. Um, Need to get to the driving range sometime. Oh. So what was that? Ooh, they kicked it out of the back of the end zone. CJ Carr, first passing touchdown. All right, Carson Beck is back on. Some people would say he looks like Timmy from South Park. Yeah, it was a nice throw. Miami keeping it on the ground. All right. Yeah, Price was good on that drive until he fumbled the rock. Oh, they were coming after him. If Notre Dame on defense can get a stop here, that is a major win. CJ Carr 8 of 12 for 53 yards. So there's that. Miami keeping it on the ground there. I guess they're running 4-minute offense. A lot of chirping going on. A lot of chirping. Just do not want a fight. Oh yeah, to get out of that situation there, yeah, it was pretty good. Back. Another first down. So that's where we're at. Yeah, he created separation there. First and 10 on the 49. Right. I hear you, Joe. For some reason, Notre Dame is just not wrapping this running back up. It seems like on the initial contact, he slips away. All right, 2-minute timeout. First half is 2 minutes left with, and it is 7-7. I think Zim Brock might have found something out in the run game. So we'll see. I'll say it. Indy screwed up the Leprechaun. Yeah. And see, here's my thing now, Dave. Since they've changed the logo and they're going to make the new logo, all the stuff with the old logo is going to go through the roof. It's realistically a quote unquote way to have a huge cash grab. That's pretty much all it is. It is a huge cash grab because like all of these like old scripts and stuff, when they change them, it makes the price go up. People want to argue that it doesn't, but realistically it does. Except it's worse. I'm not in on the new logo, I would say. But I'm also not like, to me, I feel like logos and stuff have to be iconic. Like Alabama's the script A. To me, Notre Dame is the Fighting Irish, but the interlocking D hat where it had the D and N interlocking, like Lou Holtz used to wear. But it just, all that does is make the old logo stuff go up in price. As we're looking at ads here, uh, well, I guess Arby's is they're gonna have an Italian sandwich now. I guess so. There's that. Um, Arby's Italian now. That's interesting. If you look at it, you can almost see the leprechaun and the Heisman Trophy mold. Yeah, I get you on that. But I don't know what the creative team was going for, though, really. Although I will have to say the Hard Rock, they have put a bunch of money into that. But I don't know if they're going to be able to get. The Dolphins are notoriously cheap. Beck throws it out of the backfield. If Notre Dame holds them to a field goal, I think that's a win. A touchdown hurts, but I think a field goal is a win. Cristobal's got one timeout. '87, the tight end, has been doing nothing but talk shit the entire game. O O-T T-O, baby. You must be ahead of me, Joe. Um, what do we got? First and 10. I'm assuming they're gonna run it and try to center it, or put it on what hash he wants. Ooh, that was a big hit. Don't know why you wouldn't have got out of bounds. It's an impressive building from the outside. I've never been down there, but I remember when it was like a pro player stadium. Why'd Miami call timeout? I was kind of messing around, but why did Cristobal call timeout? Is he just going to kick the field goal now? That one Notre Dame guy and all those Miami people looked awkward. Okay, here's another thing. Did he catch that? That was a hell of a catch. That was definitely a hell of a catch. There ain't a whole lot you can do on that one. So there was a hell of a catch. There goes my 14-10 to prediction. I guess he knew what he was doing. Well, my thing is that they're gonna review it. I mean, that's a hell of a catch. I think he caught it. Okay. It does come loose, but I don't think it ever hits the ground. No, it never hits the ground. That's a catch. So there's that. Oh yeah, that's a huge play. I get it. It's Michael Irvin, but can we stop showing the people who don't play football on TV? Is that too much to ask? Like, I get it. Michael Irvin is somebody, but like, I tuned in to watch Miami Notre Dame, and ESPN has been doing that recently. When Miami's on, you get it's not as bad as Taylor Swift, but you get a couple. Notre Dame kicks in the second half too. Yikes. So they could potentially be going on to a 14-point swing. That was a good move by the receiver. But I think eventually Notre Dame's going to get home. Beck's got to keep getting the ball out quick. Like Matthew McConaughey with Texas. Yeah, I agree. It's one hell of a catch. CJ Daniels, 3 catches, 34 yards. And it's kicked off out of the end zone. Ooh, we have a Starbucks halftime report. I guess right before um halftime, I guess I'll throw it out there again. Hit that like and subscribe button and help us grow this thing. We're closing in on 500. Just we've been sticking at it, been steady. So, um, with that being said, hit that like and subscribe button and help us grow this thing because Marcus Freeman is taking it to halftime. So, let me get the snack thing up and where are you? Oh, there you are. And we will be back after halftime for the second half. Just hang in there, and there's that. But yeah, I'd like to go drinking with Matthew McConaughey too. But we'll be back after halftime. All right, we're back. Carson Beck scrambling. Yeah, that catch was unreal. Need to see Denbrock show his trick bag like he did in the playoffs last year. Get them off balance. Well, I think a lot of the crossing routes and stuff is going to have big effects on that. So I'm still perplexed on why the Cubs are signing Carlos Santana. All right. I think I missed the first play. Mm. Yeah. Um, they're just not getting home to Carson Beck. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. I had to leave and come back for a second. Uh, already calling this catch. Um. Hey Joe, can you guys see me? I'm just trying to make sure my camera's working. Um. All right, I think I'm gonna have to leave and come back, and I'm gonna have to restart my computer quick. I'll be right back. All right, maybe that has fixed it. Just let me know, Joe, if that fixed it. Because I think I fixed it. All right, where are we at here? Yeah, Notre Dame needs to hold them to a field goal. Giving up a touchdown here is not ideal. Okay. If you're Cristobal, do you go for it if you get to the fourth down? Why wouldn't they just blow it dead? Oh, wow. Mm-mm-mm. Because they had him stopped until he fell down. Mm. So there we go. Yep. I guess we'll throw it out there. For all the new people that have came over to the channel, if you want to hit that like and subscribe button, help us grow this thing. That is ideal. I am looking for the streaming schedule of what we got. of what we got. Thanks, Joe. I appreciate that. Oh man. So Notre Dame, it is that is a 14-point swing. That is the middle eight. Carter's out. He's gonna be back. He's just doing some transitional stuff right now. As far as in this professional space. So, but he'll be back, I think, towards the middle part of the year, maybe sooner. And it's just one of those things. Next week, I think we'll have Ole Miss, Kentucky, Florida, USF, and I think the night game. Dave's here will be excited. We're gonna do the Oklahoma Michigan game. So there's that. Little sleepy after last night. That was thrown to no one. All right. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna do Oklahoma, Michigan. Ball tipped at the line. 3rd and 10. Miami subbing. All right. 3rd and 10. Here it comes. Not ideal. Mm. Yep, that has been the story of the night. Miami's defense. Miami's defense has shut Notre Dame down for all intents and purposes. Uh, Love is invisible. Yeah. Not using him. It is gonna be interesting. Yeah, let's see what they can get going. It's gonna be interesting. I can't believe they're still making Conjuring movies. I guess I didn't even realize Denny's was still a thing. Yeah, Joe, the offense just not clicking. Not clicking whatsoever. It's like they're really out of sync, not even on the same page. Hmm. Guess they called a block in the back, huh? Hmm. Run game. This is where Mario's going to shorten the game on him. Yeah. I don't know if the heat is getting to them. That's kind of where I'm at. There's a lot of people blaming Chris Ash for this. I figured that was going to be typical. But the defense has been on the field almost double the offense, so there's where that is at. Oh, slip. So fourth down. Uh, looks like one of their offensive linemen, Bell, is hurt. I don't know. Is Mario? I wouldn't think Mario's going to go for it. I would think he's going to punt it. I bet that did not feel good. Having a 220-pound running back slam into the back of you. So the punt team's on. Looks like punt safe. It bounces a couple yards in the other direction. All right, media timeout. So it's just not looking good. Just watching the end of the NASCAR race as well. This is just brutal. They're asleep at the wheel. I don't know. I can tell you, I am going to sleep after this. All right. So just waiting on the game to come back on. All right, CJ Carr. Notre Dame's got a 14-point deficit they got to dig out of. Notre Dame grabs the first down. I think if they just settle down and get a touchdown here, I think that will go a long way in helping. But they got to be able to stop Miami. They actually need another drop. That's been the theme all this opening week, and also no sign of existence of Jeremiah Love. He is not getting the rock at all. So he doesn't even have his mouthpiece in. Running the quarterback again. I guess. CJ Carr. Oh, got a catch in the red zone. I know the Miami fans will crash out. Under review. Awesome. Well, he pins it against his helmet and it never touches the ground, so that's a catch. Number 11, the U.S. Open has been more exciting than this game. Yeah, because Notre Dame has looked bad on offense until this drive and the other drive that they scored out of. It is call upheld. So what do we got here? There's Jeremiah Love finally. Hops over a guy. Flag on the play. I'm going to assume it's probably a hold. Yep. So back them up 10. CJ, nope, incomplete. 2nd and 20. What's the flag for? I'm gonna assume it's PI or holding. I know this much. Well, we'll have to see. If Notre Dame punches it in here and they can go down and get a stop on defense, I think they're back in business. But I just don't think in this red zone area, Miami's going to give up much on the ground. They're going to have to throw it. Second and 8, minute 58 in the Jeremiah Love upended. Third down. Mm-mm. What is it now? They were zooming in on the white hat like he was. All right, first down, Notre Dame. CJ Carr's mom is pumped up. Jeremiah Love. What's the flag? It's a hell of an advertising plug for that accident attorney. Just ESPN showing it out there for all to see. That is the advertisement that they are looking for. I would say this is going to be a QB run. Second and goal, Jeremiah Love. Helmet comes off. That's twice tonight his helmets came off. They really could have used a score in the third quarter, but judging by how it's going tonight for Notre Dame, it's been tough sledding on the offensive side of the ball. So yeah, I guess we're going to the fourth quarter. I guess with that being said, if you're new to the channel and watching on X, come on over to YouTube and hit that like and subscribe button. Appreciate it. I guess there's Winston-Salem and Tuskegee in a battle here. Also watching that. Oh. Oh yeah, I forgot. North Carolina plays tomorrow. Oh, just waiting on this to get back going. Yeah, there's a lot. These media timeouts are taking forever. What is everybody up to tonight? Outside of they're doing something for the third quarter, but there's that. All right. Fourth quarter. That was a good play call. A play action. Phase on. 11 plays, 5 minutes and 16 seconds. Not a bad way to start the fourth quarter. Notre Dame just needs a stop. Carr just gets it away. Coming up to, they're showing his mom. She's excited. A lot of pressure on the young man. Notre Dame set to kick it away. And it's in the end zone, out the back. All right, Miami starts at the 25. Pretty decent run there. All right. Bet going deep. I think there's a flag out. No flag on the play? Wow. I thought I seen a flag unless, yeah, there's a flag. Oh, holding. That is unfortunate. Let's see the hold. 73. I don't know. I don't know about that. He drug him to the ground, but he kind of fell. Miami was looking for the PI. Miami 6 penalties for 51 yards. The problem here is I would have thought Mario would have come out on the ground and try to shorten the game. All right. Miami is 4 of 9 on third down. What? So Miami calls timeout. Any pizza's personal pizza if you try hard and believe in yourself. Right. I agree with you on that. This stream is, as soon as this clock hits 0, we are done for the weekend. Almost 15 hours of live stream time, so that is a lot for the weekend. Winston-Salem and Tuskegee are locked into a ultimate battle right now, if anyone is watching that on ESPNU as well. Yeah, Gillette razors. I'm really shocked they don't have Tom Brady selling their razors. Yeah, more chilies. I'm just out on chilies. Nope. Buddy didn't get in the end zone there. The triple dipper appetizer at Chili's. Mm. It seems like this sequence in this game is taken forever. Although, I think it's a really odd time for Mario to call timeout there. Because if Notre Dame scores and you get the ball back, you're going to need those timeouts. I hate to be that guy, but I get it. You can't take them with you, but even though you have a lead, but in a tight ball game like this, it's, in my opinion, very imperative to keep those. Carson Beck sacked on 3rd and 7. So the punt is away from Miami. Fair catch. Looks to be about the 34. So here comes CJ Carr back on the field. I just know that the way it's set up, the way that this one is set up, only 178 yards of offense tonight. There's Jeremiah Love. This is I guess for Miami, this would be a bad time for him to get going. It would be inopportune because Marcus is going to shorten the game. I have a feeling I know what he's going to do. Have a long, methodical drive on this, and then it puts the pressure big time on Miami. Go down, kick a field goal, and it's picked off. Unbelievable. So that's not ideal. Mm-mm-mm. They've been jumping them bubble screens all night. Pretty solid return. Miami's already in field goal range. I would say probably any type of score, and it's pretty grim. Notre Dame is -2 in the turnover battle. So take that for what it is. But like I tell everybody now, you can lose 2 and probably still get in. This is eating valuable time off the clock. I think with all things being said, I think that Chris Ash has done a pretty decent job tonight. You're going to hold the number 10 team in the country to most likely 24 points, and you're going to lose. So Miami's going to kick a field goal. Yep. All right, here we go. 38-yard attempt. And it's good. Miami has a 10-point lead with 9:42 left. Mm. Mm. So yeah, I would been some major upsets this week. USF winning, Florida State winning, LSU and Ohio State, and Miami is in control. It's going to be the U is back. That's all we're going to hear for about the next 2 weeks. All right. Little Wingstop action. Well, like I say, it's better to win or lose early than lose late. Mm-mm-mm. All right, we're back. I think that field goal might be the deal sealer. So yeah. House call. Nope, out of the back of the end zone. Notre Dame does need a quick score. They got to get a quick score, a stop, and a field goal to have a chance to at least send it to overtime. And with 9:42 left, is Jeremiah Love hurt? Okay, he's up. Notre Dame with the first down. Not time is not on their side. And I think Marcus knows that. Just shy of the first down, 2nd and 1. Get out of bounds. Yeah. Oh, brother. Media timeout. Ugh. This is kind of like the game that's the never-ending story. Oh, the Heisman House commercials. Mm. Oh, man. This is. I hate to say it's terrible, but these media timeouts are just killing it. All right. All right, Notre Dame wide open. Mm. Just under 8 minutes left. Car takes off and just got whopped. Good thing he got up. That is welcome to big time football, my son. Jeremiah Love with the first down. Just under 7 minutes. The grounding call. Mm, yeah, that's an unfortunate turn of events. The umpire threw a flag. I'm a better hope it's not a hold. Yep, it's a hold. Oh, so they picked up the holding flag. They picked up the holding flag. It is 3rd and 21. So what's that going to be? 4th and 10. I guess they're running the field goal team on. So Notre Dame will be down a touchdown. 39-yard field goal attempt. And it's good. I guess they'll media timeout us after the. So media timeout. After the break. Or I'd say field goal, whatever you want to call it, or the kickoff. It'll be 5 minutes left. But I guess we'll do some promotion. If you're watching on Twitter, come on over to the YouTube channel and hit the like and subscribe. Help us out if you're watching and enjoy this content. That's not an ideal return. So yeah, there's that. Just too many intermittent plays on 3rd down, like what they're showing now. Just guys got open. Carson Beck's made some plays. It's pretty much been the story of it. So what is it? Two first downs and it's over. Notre Dame does have all 3 timeouts. Carson Beck has been 12 for 12 with with 109 yards. So I that's incomplete. 3rd and 9, 4:50 left. Yep, Mario doing Mario things, not running the clock. That is very true. Um, why would you throw it? What are you doing? Like, I don't really give a shit if Miami wins or loses, or anything, but why would you throw it there? Run the clock. The only thing that can beat Notre Dame right now is running the clock. Like, it just like, and I get it, there's the Mario defenders out there, but I mean, that's indefensible in my opinion. Now you're punting the ball back to Notre Dame with 4:35 left. I know, Eamon. 3 timeouts. 3 timeouts, a 2-minute warning is a gift. I just, and here's the deal. And if Notre Dame goes down and ties this up, and it goes to overtime, Chris my ash. But here's the thing: if they go down there and tie this up, and then the outside people are like, "Well, Mario's good. He's a great recruiter." It's because he does shit like this. I get it. He's not the offensive coordinator, but you are wearing a headset and say, "Hey, we're gonna try to run the clock out." Wide open. Wow. What the hell? That guy is like 6'5". Just wide ass open. Notre Dame's got it at the 10. What a play by Eli. Just great elusiveness being 6'5". What are you doing, CJ? Slide. Slide. Can somebody teach this guy how to slide? Get down. He's gonna get his neck broke by sticking his head down. There's some Notre Dame fans probably on a couch somewhere saying that's a dirty hit. Well, learn how to fucking slide, dude. Like, seriously. That's okay. That's a hell of a drive. Miami's defense looks gassed. And there's Mario doing Cristobal things. You had a 14-point lead going into the start of the fourth quarter. It is now a tie ball game. You had a 14-point lead. And what did you do on second and third down when you could have run the clock out? You throw it. It just now your offense has got to go out there and try to do something. So here we go. Yeah, if you could do me a favor, hit that like and subscribe button. 321. Left. ND gonna get a forced turnover here. I feel it. That would be the most Carson Beck thing ever if he threw a pick right here. It would just be the most. All right, just getting under 3 minutes. We're gonna have at least one more media timeout. So Miami's got the first down. So the game's tied now. Mario wants to go slow. Okay, got it. I think they got to get to the 35 for field goal range. Offensive pass interference. Yikes. Oh, it's on the defense? I'm trying to figure out where the PI was at. Hmm. So Miami needs a first down to be in field goal range, essentially. Yeah, I agree with you on that, Dave. I agree with you on that. Oh, man. I am a sleepy panda tonight. All right, we're going to the 2-minute timeout. 2-minute timeout. Here we go. Yeah, that's pretty much where we're at. Just waiting on the end result here. How do I think that this is going to pan out? Indy still has 3 timeouts. If they get a stop, they're in good shape. The 2 biggest games of the weekend have been real gems. Yeah. I'm not ruling out the realm of possibility for Mario going for it on 4th down instead of trying to kick a long field goal. That is pretty much the story that I'm on. So there's that. It is dragging on. I really do not want overtime because I feel obligated to keep the stream going. But yeah, it's been a long weekend of being here. Mm. So what's it gonna be? I'm not ruling out that Mario doesn't not go for it. If they don't get it on 3rd down, I do not rule that out because I don't think he'll want to kick a long field goal. Because the problem with the long field goal is if you miss, they get the ball right there. But it'll be under 2 minutes. It's 3rd and 2. I don't think he got it. That's a hell of a spot. All right. They're in field goal range. They are in field goal range. Notre Dame calls timeout. It would be a different story if they would have made that field goal in the first half. would be a totally different story. Hmm. It's gonna be. It'll be about a 37 yarder if they get to roll it. Uh, Third down. All right. Hmm. All right. 3rd and 4. Ugh. Okay. It's 4th down. Some confusion on the Miami sideline. All right, here we go. Miami's going to kick a field goal with about there'll be about a minute left. They're in his range, a 47-yard field goal attempt. Set, hold, and it's good. Miami goes up 27-24. Whoopsies. So ESPN, we are approaching We are approaching 3 hours and 30 minutes. Yep. Notre Dame, no timeouts, a minute 4 left. It's going to be a touchback. Well, I would say they're going to be playing prevent if I had to guess. So Notre Dame takes over at the 25, minute 4 left. And off the hands, another drop. Ooh, 59 seconds left. Tight end screen. I don't know what this kid's field goal range is. Incomplete pass. CJ Carr was in the grasp of the sack. Yeah, you just got beat, bub. So there's that. For some damn reason, they keep showing the replay of the sack. Just get after it. Marcus is giving him the gotta go sign. So they call intentional grounding. So what's the down and distance? 26 seconds left. Carr just gets toppled. One last play. And that's all she wrote, folks. Notre Dame goes down 24-27, and that's it. Carson Beck victorious, but I guess with that being said, I'll let everybody get out of here. It's been a long weekend for me. There's that. Wow. The Miami team is celebrating their first top 10 win since 2017. So we will see what it is. But with that being said, appreciate everybody for watching the streams all weekend. And hit that like and subscribe button. and help us grow this thing. And I will see you tomorrow. Have a good night, everybody. Later.